We're back at Coach's Corner West on WQEL Facebook with the Wynford part of the show. Coach Gabe, Helbert, and company. Our show brought to you in part tonight on WQEL Facebook by Roger Brown at Weeks Lock and Safe, South Poplar Street at West Warren, Bucyrus. Also John Ziegler, Drew Young, Frank Heinlein, and everybody at Bucyrus Blades, serving worldwide markets since 1951. Rob Lust at Edgefield Animal Clinic, Marion. Coach Tim Plumley, Mohegan Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Doug Woodhold at Advanced Fiber Technology. And Matt Studer at Spitzer, Chrysler Dodge, Jeep Ram Kia, just a mile east of the Richland Mall. Coach Gabe Helbert joining us right now. And of course, Coach Helbert, the Wynford Royals, beating Upper Sandusky 47-20. And you guys got off to a really fast start, Coach.
You know, I thought it was key to the game as far as settling down early and getting that fast start. You know, the week before we didn't execute very well and it cost us. So coming out against a pretty good Upper Sandusky team was important to the start of the game. Unfortunately, our kids were able to do that. They were able to get their offense off the field. And our offense responded, which was nice to see.
27 points in the first quarter. 27 out of your 47 points scored in the first quarter, 4 touchdowns. Your quarterback, 14 of 30 for 190 yards, and you rushed for 37 times for 240 yards, 430 yards of offense. That's usually a pretty good nice score.
You know, it was nice to see balance. You know, I like to see that, you know, we ran the ball effectively. I haven't done that many times this year, so to be able to do that on Friday night was important. You know, I thought our kids did a nice job trying to maintain and establish the line of scrimmage overall. And, you know, for the most part, we were relatively balanced.
And good balance in your running attack this year, too. Not a lot of guys. We don't see 100-yard games, but we see consistent 70-yard games. We talked about this last week. And you had 3 guys with 70 yards, 70-plus yards. Right.
You know, we don't have the feature back. You know, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, you know, it'd be nice to have a kid that you could count on, you know, to carry it 20, 25 times a game. We don't have that, so it's been kind of by committee, which those kids have stepped up and done a nice job. And, you know, really Friday night they did an excellent job, you know, doing that, because again, we haven't ran the ball overly successful this year, so to see that Friday night was good.
All right, receiving core, Jared Filiator with 5 receptions for 80-plus yards. Dan Whitmire, 4 receptions, 58 yards. James Schiefer, 4 receptions, 36 yards. Avery Langender for a reception for 11 yards. They passed the ball around.
Yeah, we threw it to a lot of guys. You know, it was, again, you don't have that guy to try to go to a ton and just do the design of play and who opens up. So we try to get the ball to. Kobe did a nice job finding the open guy for the most part on Friday night, and he was pretty efficient as far as moving chains and doing good things in the pass game when it needs to be done.
I'm not going to pretend to know a lot about you guys have more forgotten about football than I ever knew to begin with. Most of what I know is talking to you and your colleagues. But the bottom line is maybe having 4 guys like this, 4 or 5 guys that can all catch the football. You got just one super receiver. They're going to key him. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jaron Filiator has kind of emerged as our go-to guy, but we've had other guys step up throughout the year. You know, we've had seniors that have done a really nice job, you know, take advantage of opportunities and those opportunities present themselves.
All right. On the season, Kobe Allen with well over 1,000 yards passing, 1,455 yards, 18 touchdowns, 61% completion. That's pretty serious, pretty good.
You know, Kobe's had a nice year. You know, each and every week he tries hard to continue to improve and get better. And, you know, we've seen growth with him from the beginning of this year all the way through the season. He needs to continue to do that as we, you know, get later and later into the year. But, you know, he has done a nice job so far this season.
And both of the Blair boys are averaging over 5 yards per carry.
You know, again, it's we haven't always been good at running football. It was nice to kind of get that going on Fridays, so try to continue to establish that with those guys.
All right, we're going to be back and talk with several of the young men around the table. I've got Ashton Warren, James Rindfuss, Kalen Skidmore, and KJ Kotalic. Did I get it right? I feel extremely fortunate about that. I'll tell you, we'll be back in just one moment. Our show brought to you on WQEL Facebook by Mike Kleinite at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Cyrus, Mount Gilead and Marion, Dr. Thomas M. Britton at Clubview Vision Center, Luann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery, Screen Printing and Signs, the official foam board t-shirt provider, Route 309 right across the street from the Marion Depot. Also brought to you by Blythe Freely and Todd McDougal at Freely and Company Insurance in New Washington, Ted Coder at Monarch Body Shop, Dutchtown, and the Ohio State University of Marion, a Big Ten education close to home. Around the table we go, Ashton Warren, sophomore, quarterback and safety, and I'm going to guess you're playing some JV as well, right?
Yes.
Well, JV, have you seen some varsity action this year?
Yeah.
A little bit? All right, talk to me about your goals for this year, buddy.
Goal for this year is just to get better every day, help the team out, make plays every Friday.
Are you playing scout team most of the practices? And
He starts first and safety.
talk to me, how are the JVs doing this year?
We're doing decent. We're doing all right.
What's decent?
Well, a couple games been off. A couple games we've had good games. We've evolved in the year. Offense been good.
All right. Other sports other than football?
Basketball.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. James Rindfuss, also a sophomore, wide receiver, safety. I'm going to guesstimate that you too are doing some JV, right? Get some varsity time at all?
Yeah, I play special teams.
Special teams on the varsity. Talk to me a little bit about the season and what your goals are for us this year.
My goals this year are just to excel at like wide receiver on JV and safety and try to lead the team.
All right. Other sports other than football?
Yeah, I play basketball.
Basketball as well. I appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing this time. And we got Kalen Skidmore, also a sophomore, O-line and D-line, right?
Yeah.
All right, talk to me a little bit about being on the offensive team. Have you got any varsity time at all?
Yeah, I played both sides most of the whole time.
Not for the whole time.
For the whole time.
For the whole time, so you're playing varsity.
Yeah.
No JVs?
No JV.
No JVs. Congratulations. Good job. Talking about, the role that you're playing and the goals that you got for the rest of the year.
I'm trying to pay it forward early. I want to, when I'm a senior, have kids under me that will play their best for me when I'm a senior.
All right.
Be able to do that for me.
Sounds to me like you've been listening to some Woody Hayes tapes.
He doesn't know who Woody Hayes is.
He doesn't even know who Woody Hayes is? God, that does definitely look like, I got to tell you a story here. John Spencer was talking to his wife the other day, John Spencer, and John Spencer was talking to his wife, and they were talking about the issues that Urban Meyer went through right now. And she didn't even know that Urban Meyer was the head coach of the United States Buckeyes. I says, that's nothing. My wife wants to know who Woody Hayes is. So, but now, the things you were talking about paying it forward, that's classic Woody Hayes, and he was the head football coach for 28 years at Ohio State. So, other sports other than football?
No.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to hit the weight room, and I imagine this guy right here is going to be encouraging you to be in that weight room, right? Weight room and doing some stuff to get ready for football next year, right?
Yep.
All right, buddy, I appreciate you stopping by. Finally, KJ Kotalic, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and he is a freshman?
Yes, sir.
O-line and D-line, pretty good sized fellow, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right. You play other sports other than football?
Yes, I play basketball.
All right, and you look like you played some basketball. Talk to me a little bit about your role on the football team. Right? Any varsity time at all?
Yes, sir. I'm starting varsity.
All right, very good. You're doing a good job as a freshman. That kind of make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, he's a big body kid.
As a freshman. Talk to me a little bit about some of the things that you're working on for the rest of the season, the goals for the rest of the year.
The first thing I want to work on is staying lower. I'm a pretty tall man, so I got to stay low on my man. I got to work on, proper blocking, proper down blocking, spinning my hips to the end zone.
All right. Sounds to me like you have been coached rather well. You mentioned you're playing some basketball. Does basketball help football and football help basketball?
100%. Helps with stamina, agility, footwork, everything.
All right. Spring sports at all? What? Spring sports at all?
No.
All right. So that means your weight room as soon as basketball season's over. All right. Good job, buddy. I appreciate you stopping by. We're going to break for a second, come back and talk to Coach a little bit about a very important football game coming up against Cary. Details come up in just one moment. Our show brought to you in part by the Burkhardt family of Burkhardt Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer, farmers serving farmers on the Manette Winchester Road. Rod Steiger at Pizza Hut, Bucyrus and Gallion, host of our show since 1992. Vince Ponziani and everybody at Waycraft Industries. North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center, Bucyrus. Hannah Newton, Wendy's, downtown Bucyrus and Upper Sandusky. Lee Primal at the Primal Insurance Agency. Lee and Brian Seibert as well at Primal Insurance Group, Bucyrus and Gallion. Coach, let's talk about Cary. These guys are extremely good and obviously maybe the best team in the league. They beat Crawford and Cary. Just look at the paper. They're a very good movie.
I mean, watching tape, they're an excellent football team. They're good in all phases. They're good on offense. They're good defensively, and they're good in the special teams. And they're good at all levels of their offense and defense. Their offensive line's very physical, big. They do a great job getting off the ball, sustaining blocks. The quarterback's very dynamic. He's an excellent playmaker. Has the ability to make a lot of plays with his feet. Really reminds me of Keaton Tyner, a kid that played for us in the 2014 season. That was very elusive and explosive. Their backs are good. Their backs are very effective in what they do. And then defensively, again, they're very talented in all three levels of their defense. The defensive line is physical and big. Their linebackers have a great desire, just a tremendous ability to get to the football. They close on the football very well. And their secondary is athletic. They have a 3-year starter in the Conti kid at corner who's been an excellent football player for 3 years for them. So they have a lot of talent, and it shows. It shows in what they've done to teams and where they're at currently in their season.
All right, what to expect? I mean, more of the same. They run the ball, they throw the ball. They got all facets going.
They want to run the football first and foremost, and I think that's kind of what they hang their hat on. But the kid is the quarterback is a very talented player, so he has the ability to extend plays with his feet and then find open people kind of through a scramble drill. So they do that effectively. But no, they want to run the football and they want to stop the run.
Keys to success in this football.
You're playing teams that are very impressive, like Kerry is. You have to try to win the turnover battle. You have to sustain drives to try to keep their offense off the field, and ultimately do whatever you can to try to make a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, because they're going to be content with taking 4, 5, and 6 yards at a time. So our kids are going to have to play great assignment football. They're going to have to play with a lot of just a desire to compete at a high level. When you play against good teams, you have to kind of raise your standard, your level a little bit. And Friday night we'll have to do that.
All right, Coach, it's always a pleasure to have you aboard. We'll look forward to your visit next week. And thank you so much for sharing some time with us. Up next, it's Buckeye Central. I don't see Buckeye in the house yet, but they will be here pretty quick. Buckeye Central up next on the WQEL Facebook page with Coach's Corner West.